Välkomna till en på kanalen. Idag reagerar jag på lite mer vanliga saker, inte bara Superligan. Jag spelar in detta under samma dag, så jag vet inte reaktioner på gårdagens video, men jag hoppas att vi har en bra diskussion i alla fall i kommentarerna kring den här stora härvan. Men det vi ska reagera på idag är alltså en kommentar från er som bad mig att reagera på saker som är dyrare än vad man kanske tror. Det var exakt det jag skrev in på YouTube. Hittade inte exakt en sån video som man skrev om, men det jag hittade var att saker som vi kanske har, eller du kanske har, kanske just nu är som en skatt som är extremt dyra. Items you may own that are now worth a fortune. Och det kan vara alltså saker som är extremt dyra nu som kanske inte var det förr. Jag tänkte ta och kolla på detta, men tycker att det här är kul, lämna en like, glöm inte bort att prenumerera här på kanalen. Hjälp mig till 55 000 prenumeranter och hjälp mig till 30k på Instagram också, ska vi se till att bli lite aktiv där. Men vi tar väl hoppar in. BMAs heter kanalen med 8 miljoner subs och vi kör. Pang på rödbetan. Boom. Nu måste jag rapa också. Men jag var snäll nog att muta det. Fingerlem. Det kommer 100% vara en gammal serietidning.
Items of all could lie among the things you have tucked away in your home. From vintage video games to Furbies and even dusty old dishes. You won't believe how valuable some of the seemingly worthless trinkets we tend to leave gathering dust can be. So open the hatch to the attic, grab a duster, and let's explore the overlooked valuables that could well make you a fortune. Number 10. Nintendo Game Boy. When the Nintendo Game Boy launched
Det måste vara det första Game Boy, ja.
It brought countless hours of joy to kids all over the world. But there's more.
Nu kommer Anton. Fulkille. Jag spelar in Finkille. Nej. Vart har du varit?
Käka lunch.
Ja.
På mormors.
Oj. Det är nog det bara.
Farfar.
Ja.
Raggmunk.
Jaså?
Raggmunk och fläsk.
Ah, ja.
More than just nostalgia value in these old handheld consoles, which often sell for a fortune today. While used versions of the handheld console in its many forms sell from anywhere
Det finns jävla många olika Game Boys också.
$50, the value increases dramatically if the console is in an original sealed box. PriceCharting.com estimates that an original sealed Game Boy usually goes for as much as $549.95. Even more recent models, like this SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP, can fetch almost $500.
Men va? Så länge de var i originalförpackning och grejer. Scheisse. Jäklar.
Sealed. On Amazon and eBay, unopened, original, and limited edition models can fetch thousands of dollars. Adding unopened games to the equation can help you hit the absolute jackpot. You can get up to $2,364 for Amazing Tater.
Det där känns också som att folk skulle kunna ha det där hemma också, oöppnat, som man har glömt bort typ någonting.
And $3,500 for Spud's Adventure. Even unsealed, some of these can easily fetch prices approaching the $1,000.
Wow.
If your parents ever told you video games are a waste of time, think of me while you savor telling them how wrong they are. Number 9. Golf balls. Well, winning PGA Tours is undoubtedly the best way to make money from golf. It's pretty difficult. Luckily, you can still make big bucks from the sport without actually even playing.
Men va?
You can make thousands of dollars by recovering golf balls. Your average golfer loses about 2 balls a game, and in the US, 100 million missing golf balls are recovered every year. You just walk around the rough areas of golf courses and find tons of missing balls. With little more effort required than walking around. You'll feel the distinctive bump of a gold ball under the ground with your foot.
Choose to walk around the rough areas to the right or left of the teeing ground.
Websites like eBay auction used golf balls, or you can sell them directly to golfers at a lowered price. Most retrieved golf balls sell for around 50 cents.
Jag tror att det är mer som har börjat gjort det här som typ så här sommarjobb och grejer. Jag har sett det på TikTok och skit att folk har gjort så här med golfbollar och grejer.
So recovering 1,000 balls could net you $500 for a day's work. Premium brands in good condition can even sell for more than $2 each.
But self-proclaimed golf ball divers know the big bucks lay at the bottom of the ponds and lakes on golf courses, where the highest concentration of lost balls are found.
The best divers have been known to retrieve as many as 10,000 balls a day, and often enjoy annual incomes ranging between $50,000 and $100,000. This method obviously comes with its fair share of occupational hazards and requires scuba certification. And watch out for gators and crocs, depending on where you are. They bite a lot harder than a stray golf ball. You could save yourself the effort though if you're lucky enough to stumble across an animal with a taste for dimpled spheres. Case in point, a set of golf balls removed from a python in Australia after it swallowed them were sold on eBay for $1,253. It's true what they say. To get rich, you've got to have the balls.
Vad sjukt! Jävlar.
Meat stones.
Meat stones.
These may look like tasty bits of bacon, but while valuable, these treasures are not edible. That's because they're actually rocks. Part of an oddly popular, notably peculiar
det är stenar som ser ut som kött.
Japan. A museum in Lushan, China has an entire hugely
Det som
popular
ser ut som
section
bacon.
dedicated to a collection of rocks that look like
Inte de då, men de
like
är.
marbled pork or beef. At the Kyushu Museum in Fukuoka, Japan, Taiwan's prized meat-shaped stone attracted almost 6,000 visitors per day during its time on display there. The appreciation of meat stones is centuries old, the one at Kyushu Museum being carved during the Qing Dynasty. But the meat of the matter is that nowadays, the prices for these peculiar stones, most of which are naturally formed or carved from jasper and dyed, have skyrocketed. Nowadays, the most realistic-looking meat stones sell for thousands of dollars.
Den där ser helt
So
sjuk
if you
ut.
have any meaty-looking stones in your yard, ship them straight to China. You might just make a fortune.
Ja, den där
And
är
while
sjuk
China
alltså.
and Japan are going crazy for rocks that look like meat, the people of Chile and Peru are much more interested in meat that looks like rocks. The Pyrex chilensis, also known as a living rock or sea squirt, is a gross-looking filter-feeding sea creature. It's a popular delicacy in South America and Asia, but could easily be mistaken for a rock before it's cracked open. It would be an expensive rock to
Det där är
open.
alltså, vad sa ni, Sydamerika och grejer, så finns det ett djur som ser ut som en sten sådär. Som kan vara delikat.
On a trip to the beach, however, as they can fetch as much as $170 per kilo. Number 7. Pokemon cards.
Det här vet vi,
High school
Pokémon-kort.
can be a rough time for Pokemon card collectors, but as is often the case, the nerds win the long game. Because Pokemon cards are often worth a fortune today. More than 20 years since the creation of the Pocket Monsters franchise, collectors are exchanging ultra-rare cards like wily stockbrokers. The rarer the card, the more valuable, and the shinier the better. Specific versions of these
Det här är så sjukt. De här kostar ju mer nu också.
$12,000
Det här kostar mycket mer nu också. Ja.
$70,000, and other limited edition cards fetch similarly colossal prices. But among the highest earners is this Pikachu Illustrator card, issued to winners of the Koro Koro Comic Illustration Contest in January 1998. It was sold at an auction for an unbelievable $55,000, and other copies have been listed on eBay for as high as $100,000.
Wow, 100
Now
000.
you've really got to catch them all. Number 6. Furbies.
Furbies.
Whether these toys were cute or creepy is a debate that's yet to be settled. But there's no debate as to their value among collectors in 2019. If you have a pristine condition Furby, or better yet, factory sealed, it could garner some serious
Hur
pocket
kan det
money
där vara
for you.
dyrt? Hur?
The original sealed 1998
98 i och för sig,
edition
okej.
regularly goes for upwards of $1,000 on eBay. Rare versions fetch even more. One Millennium Edition Furby was sold in early 2019 for more than $4,500.
Woof.
But even open box
Har ni en
models
sån där
can
Furby hemma
easily
eller? Det är bara att
fetch
sälja
$100.
snabbt.
So if you've got a Furby lying around, now's the time to either reminisce about your childhood or cash them in for your mortgage payments. Number 5. Winter Flower. If you've
Blomma.
ever thought roses are overpriced, you obviously haven't heard of the giant snowdrop. The Galanthus warrenawi,
Shit, vad
or
cool
the
blomma.
Elizabeth Harrison giant snowdrop, is a springtime flower found in the UK and is lauded because of its distinct gold markings and rarity. They often fetch 65 pounds per bulb, and in one instance in 2012, a single bulb was sold for 725
What?
pounds. Galanthus warrenawi occasionally appears randomly in gardens around the UK, and seeing as collectors are willing to pay top dollar, it's a good excuse to find
Jävlar, det är en sån grej man verkligen skulle kunna ha hemma också.
Don't let me outdoors anymore, so you'll have to let me know how it goes. Number 4. Lego. They may hurt more than childbirth to step on, but did you know some Lego bricks have a higher rate of return than gold? Lego puts out new sets every year and retires older sets every 2 years. This has resulted in a substantial
det är sant, det är
secondhand
just det.
market where the prices for retired sets increase.
Det här måste också vara sjukt när det är så här förpackningen
Full
hel
collector
också.
sets can also rake up thousands, like the Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon. Instances of which have sold for as
10 000.
high as $15,000 at auction.
$15,000.
Huge assorted Lego collections regularly reach $10,000 and above on eBay too. So your tubs of random bricks and figures could also be worth a pretty penny. But collectors are usually on the hunt for specific missing pieces and are willing to pay unbelievable prices to complete their sets. For instance, Boba Fett's legs alone sell for over $200,
Va?
while this red Darth Vader helmet
Den
sells for
förstår jag.
over $400. Misprinted pieces and prototypes also list for thousands, so even your faulty Legos can make you a fortune. Definitely worth checking the underside of your foot for. Number 3.
What?
First edition books.
First edition books, men det
After
förstår
you
jag.
finish hunting for Game Boys, Furbies, and Legos, you should check out your bookshelf. Certain first edition books are worth a fortune in good condition. For example, the first edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is usually worth between
svindyr.
$40,000 and $55,000.
Mamma! Det är för fan en
It's the
halv
only
mille.
version that states Joanna Rowling as the author on the copyright page before she started using her JK pen name. Only 500 copies were printed in its first edition, and one copy sold in 2019 for almost $100,000. Similarly, only 1,500 copies of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit were printed in 1937, and they quickly sold out. A first edition copy is now worth around $65,000, and one copy, signed by Tolkien to one of his former students, fetched nearly $210,000
det här är
in
helt stört.
2015. And covering American authors, first editions of The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald are worth upwards of $150,000. A first edition of this 1925 novel can be identified by a typo on the back of the dust jacket spelling J. Gatsby with a lowercase j. First editions of most popular books will fetch a pretty penny. But how can you tell what is and isn't a first edition? Firstly, check the number line on the first page. The lowest number represents the printing of the book. If a 1 is present in the sequence, that usually indicates you've got the first edition. Often publishers print first edition or first printing on the copyright page, though this can be unclear at times. It's worth visiting an expert if you're uncertain, before boldly declaring yourself a proud owner of a Gatsby numero uno. Number 2. Pyrex Dishes. Pyrex makes super handy oven-proof varieties of dishes, jugs, and other glassware.
Jag märker också, jag pratar inte så jävla mycket, men jag blir helt så här: wow. Det är verkligen sådana grejer man skulle kunna ha hemma. De här Harry Potter-böckerna och Hobbit och grejer, sånt där lär man säkert redan ha haft ganska bra koll på för att man börjar kunna förstå det, men blomman och grejer så här, what?
Everyone, it seems, has a Pyrex jug or two, but their value extends surprisingly far beyond their usefulness. Vintage Pyrex dish sets sell for up to
Hur kan det här kosta något?
online, and single limited edition prototypes have been listed for as high as $10,000.
Hur?
Collectors who've dubbed themselves Pyrex junkies seek out dishes made between the 1910s and 1970s. The most valuable of these are the opaque dishes that have floral or geometric designs. The more common transparent versions aren't quite as valuable, but still fetch a reasonable price as full sets.
Det är så här ugnsformar och
Still, these dishes
grejer.
could easily be sold for chump change at garage sales by owners unaware of their true value. So it really does pay to be in the know. So go visit your grandparents and older relatives today, but try to be subtle while you're rummaging through their kitchen cabinets. Before I reveal the most valuable item you may very well
Ja, det är
own,
dags nu för
here's
sista.
an honorable mention that could net you some easy cash.
Honorable
If you
mention.
can't find any of the items I've mentioned lying around your house, you probably have some old board games. In 2017, a thrifty lady named Laura Neibauer Palmer had the genius idea to turn old board games into her side hustle, and she's been pretty successful with it. She begins by researching the demand for replacement game pieces and then purchases those games at thrift stores, rarely for more than a couple bucks. She then sells the pieces on eBay based on the prices people have bought them for in the past. Through this super easy laid-back scheme, she made $250 in 6 months. So it's not a
Hon tjänar $250 på 6 månader. Det är för fan absolut ingenting.
fortune, but for tiny plastic game pieces, that's a substantial gain. She clearly knows how to play the game, and I bet she's a master in Monopoly. Number 1.
Nu då, kom igen
Super
då.
Mario Brothers.
Okej.
Since the original game was released in 1985, Super Mario Bros. Has grown into a household name. And indeed, many households
Whoa.
today contain a copy of at least one Mario game. But owners of the original game for the Nintendo
Alltså
Entertainment
fatta det där, i förpackning, allting i förpackning. Oof!
system could be sitting on an absolute Goomba goldmine. A standard used copy with the original box can fetch between $40 and $600, but a sealed copy is a whole other ballpark. Pristine copies regularly fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $13,000, and occasionally even $25,000.
Aj, för bara
depending on the condition.
spelet.
But in early 2019, one particular copy sold for an incredible $100,150 at auction, making it the most expensive video game ever sold.
It was the only existing pre-release copy steel sealed with a sticker, as all subsequent copies were sealed using shrink wrap. So of course, it was totally worth the price.
Oof.
If that doesn't make you want to dig out the old NES, I don't know what will. So after watching this video...
Jag vill veta mer hur det var kring Nintendo också. Sjukt galna grejer alltså. Det finns jättemånga sjuka videos på den här kanalen också. Vill ni se mer från BMA så kan ni skriva det i kommentarerna. Det där är alltså en video som någon av er ville att jag skulle se, och jag tycker att den var absolut värd att kolla på liksom. Alltså det var helt galet. Men vi syns i alla fall imorgon med en till video. Så får ni ha så bra, så hörs vi sen. Hej då!